Last week I forgot my theme song. Oh no. I'm running late and my hair is a mess. But that's a normal Wednesday for you. Turn off the theme song so I can talk. Okay. Yeah, I'm running behind because I'm tired. I had to do the school run. I did a guild meeting last night. Oh, if you are just scrolling by and have no clue who I am Andrea. I'm wearing a name tag. This is the Quilting Shed, your Fredericton area quilt shop. Yes. It's not a nice, well, yeah, it is nice out. Other than being overcast and looks like it's going to rain. It's not too cold, not too hot. It's the 22nd day of September. Yay, fall. Okay, so last night I went out to a guild meeting. And if you are not in a quilting guild, then you should consider joining your local quilt guild. Ooh, ha ha ha. I'm getting fancy today. If you're watching, you can say hi and it'll show up on the split side of the screen there. It should. Yeah, guild meeting. So, COVID fun stuff. Most of the guilds did either not have meetings at all or they switched to online for the last year. So last night was the second guild meeting that I've been to in this month. But this one asked me to be a vendor because they had a very, very mini. Hi, Mom. That's my mom up over there saying hi. A very mini quilt show. So they had some quilts on display you could look at, people's work that they did. And they asked me to be a vendor. I had a table. I took like what seemed like half the shop. I took way too much. I was wanted them to have a variety. So yeah. So the fun part that if you're not in a guild, like I say guild and people, newer quilters get all like nervous, like, but I'm not good enough to be in a guild. It's not like a carpenter's guild or something where you have to prove how fantastic you are at whatever to join. You just show up and pay your membership for the year and there you go. So in a guild, they have monthly meetings. Some of them are like committee meetings and kind of boring. Yes, but you hang on for the good stuff, like show and tell. You get to bring in your work and show it off. No obligation. Other people, you don't have to. Not everybody does. You get to hang out with everybody else. The quilt guilds, they usually have workshops and work days that are not on meeting nights, so you can get together and do stuff. Learn some new skills. They bring in teachers. Sometimes they bring in your local quilt shop. If you are in a guild, you might want to get one of your local shops or like a nearby shop, maybe from out of the region, to come in and say hi to your guild, support your local one first, and then, bring in somebody else just to get some traffic flowing between the communities within the province, because that's what we're trying to build up here. Nice community of New Brunswick. Oh, yeah, it's a little hard. Okay, so that's the Quilt Guild, and you will make a lot of new friends. And each guild has sort of its own feel. And like I said, they're not gonna judge you on your work unless you ask them, and then they'll do it nicely because some of them are very artsy. The one I went to last night is the Fredericton Guild, and they're a little more artsy. Oh, that is the wrong piece. Yeah, I am really like the mess here is insane because I just took everything out of my trunk and dumped it on the table. Yep, didn't put it away. So yes, join a guild if you want to hang out with like-minded folks. If you don't have a guild near you, there might be a sewing group. If you are in a sewing group and you are looking for more sewers to join you, please leave your info in the comments so that other people can hang out with you. Lots of people are looking. Just say what day you meet. Some of them meet during the day. Some of them meet at night. It's up to you. I find more of the guilds meet at night. And then just some of the regular groups meet through the day. I know there's a lot. I'm trying to keep track of them all, but there's quite a bit out there. Even if you're a church group and you just do like hand quilting, Put that info in the comments there too, because I guarantee I have been asked, who hand quilts around here? More than once a week. So it's not as dead a skill as you think. It's out there. People are doing it and people want it. And younger quilters are doing it too. Not this younger quilter, even though I'm not your grandmother's quilter. I can hand quilt. I just don't because my hands and my eyes are really, really bad. Yeah, it's very painful right now. I tried wearing my wedding ring again. I had to take it off at 3 o'clock in the morning because my hands had swelled up again. Yay, so much fun. So, but I bet what you want to talk about and see is some new fabric. And funnily enough, I did get in some new fabric, a whopping pile of it. Most of it, I just shoved it down the hall and we can deal with that later. But I am going to show you a little bit. I did get a sneak peek on our Facebook page. I said a particular line was coming, and it is coming because it's here down the hall. And I just have to do all the administrative stuff to get it out to you. I mean, in theory, I can actually sell it to you now, but I like to be organized. I like to know that instead of this $10 sale, what it actually was. So yeah, I sold some stuff at the guild meeting last night. It was totally worth it. Anyway, I had this hanging up there, and I wanted to show you this panel. Isn't it cute? It's God grant me the serenity to something. Sorry for the dead air. God grant me the serenity that I don't, to accept the seams that don't line up and the courage to rip them out and the wisdom to know the difference. Sometimes you know that seam is off and you're like, it's staying. So yeah, this is a really cute and trendy chalkboard type stuff. There are matching fabrics, which we will get to eventually, maybe not this week. Not in this video because I don't have them ready, but there's a lot of black and white sewing themed prints that go with this and a couple of ones in color. That is really great. And oh, that's what I was looking for. There is another panel that came with this line that I got, which people will be really happy to see because, speaking of quilts, it's all quilt labels. Wow. So it's a whole panel full of really fair-sized quilt labels. All kinds of options here. So yeah, Angela says she needs to watch later. Yeah, I wish I could watch later too because I need a nap. Angela was at the meeting I was in last night too. So we have these quilt labels. So the quilt label panel and the chalkboard one with the sewing and the seam ripping, both of those each are $10, which is a really good deal for a panel these days. I was like, is this $10? I double checked my math. I'm like, yep, that's right. So the panel with the labels has 18 of them on it, and you maybe not. That's for some people. That's like they don't make that many quilts in their lifetime. So I did give the option to I cut one of them up so you could buy individually quilt labels. I was going to sell them for $1. And funnily enough, the meeting that I went to last week had a guest from this week's guild at last week's guild, where he told us all about quilt labels. So like when you're writing on this, you can actually just use a permanent pen. You really can. You can iron something like this onto freezer paper and just use your nice permanent pen and put your lettering in. I would probably do it in pencil first, just to make sure you've got it right, and then use a very fine point tip permanent pen, like a 0.05. Micron permanent pens work really well. You can find them in any art stores. If you're local, Endeavors has a lot of very fine point permanent marker pens in a variety of colors. The other thing you can do with labels like this is use those fancy stitches on your sewing machine and stitch out your messages. Or you can get your local embroiderer to do something like this. I know I have a few customers with embroidery machines. But yeah, and then you just, fold in your edges, or you can put like a complete back on it and turn it right side out. So it's two-sided, and then stitch it onto the back of your quilt. I've heard of quilters who actually incorporate a block like this directly into their backing. They sew it right in, so the quilt label can't be removed later or it doesn't get lost. So yeah, quilt labels. I get asked about those all the time, and now I'm like, well, here you go. We can pick one. I like this one. This one doesn't have room for your text, but it says measure twice, cut once. Because you don't want to measure 3 or 4 times and then keep cutting, because that's when you have to stop for chocolate. Yep. So yeah, there's some cute labels here, and you'll come in and you'll have a look at them. So the other thing I did to prep for this meeting, I cut so many fat quarters. Like, this is just the Christmas bin. These are $4 fat quarters, most of them. But I went through a lot of the newer Christmas fabrics, made sure they were all cut into fat quarters. Since Emma's in school, I didn't have Emma to help me, but there we go. So I had to do it all by myself. Oh no, it was terrible. No, it was all right. It's the boring part of owning a quilt shop. That's all. What else is there? Yeah, I have to clean. I have new things. One of the other things I did, because I did them for the meeting, but I have lots left over. So I know I talked about these before. The 3-yard quilt patterns. Emma and I did up some kits. Emma's picked out most of the fabric. So, you know, somebody qualified in graphics arts has picked out fabrics for you that go together into little mini kits. The cheapest ones are priced at $40, and $40 for a lap quilt is really not all that bad. So yeah, that's one thing we do with sale fabric, is bundle it up into kits. Just out the door it goes. It's great because we need the room. The sale fabric is going down. If you've seen the 40% off rack over in the corner, over that way, yeah, over there. It's getting down, which is good because I need it. So we have some kits too. So there's. What else did we do? I swear, this is just. Oh, that's the apron one. I am looking for the. I have a panel here to show you. I think it's another $10 one. This one's really nice, and I know we're getting into Halloween, and I told myself, wait until October to show them Halloween, but it's been going out the door really good. And I got in 2 Halloween lines. One I call the classy Halloween, because it's very Martha Stewart, very understated. It is orange and black and pumpkins, but tasteful. I could see my mother putting this in their house. Hint, hint, Mom. It has little black cats on it and some nice damask. But this is the panel. Isn't that cute? Cute little black cat at the window. Some tastefully decorated Martha Stewart style pumpkins. Yeah, and that again is a $10 panel, which I'm like, wow, I did really good with that one. But yeah, it's got this. I'm not a huge fan of cats, but black cats, I like the black cats. I like the little orange cats too. I don't like the sneezes they give me, but you know, you pick your battles. I prefer dogs, but in a pinch, cat might do if they're a black cat or an orange cat or a very, very well behaved cat. So you could start getting ready for Halloween too, because it's coming, because now it's fall and the leaves are changing. The coffee's on. Enjoy the heck out of your pumpkin spice. I'm just looking at this stuff that I have to put away, and it's not all that fun. So I did have my sticky note here too. Woo! Not a lot going on other than the new fabric, which I said, which is the sewing line. And I also got it's called Prairie Meadow from Northcott. Show the placemats that go with the panel. Yes, I will, Mom. The Halloween line, just to backtrack for a sec. The Halloween line has placemats that go with it. It also has an apron thing. They're hanging on the wall, but I will show you placemats too, just in case you wanted some quick. You know what you could do? You could back these placemats in just a generic fall Thanksgiving print. And then you could just have your Halloween and Thanksgiving placemat set all in one go. You wouldn't need 2 sets. You just need the 1 set. So there's a placemat. It's already got the border on it. Super easy peasy. And with this panel, they give you some squares too. You can use them for coasters. You can use them for something else. You can make fancier placemats. It's very spooky. Yeah, just a bunch of pumpkins. But yeah, it just occurred to me, geez, back that in Thanksgiving fabric, and you've got double duty placemats. Flip them over. Thanksgiving 1 week, and then 2 weeks later is Halloween here, so just flip them over. Assuming you don't get soup all over them. I had a shout out to the customer who was in here buying fabric for placemats because she needed something to. She makes her husband soup a lot, and apparently he's very enthusiastic when he has his soup. So she was looking for fabric that hid soup. We found some though, nice fall fabrics with lots of oranges and reds and yellows on it to hide from the tomato soup that invariably gets all over the place. So yeah, and this placemat panel is only $11. I mean, one more dollar than the other one, just so you can cut it apart, I guess. I don't know. I don't figure these things out. I figure these things out based on what I have to pay for them. So I didn't figure out the other stuff. So now I'm going to talk about the new fabric. Is that okay with you, Mom, or did you have another idea? Okay, Mom's quiet. So there. So yeah, the sewing fabric. Oh, there's a nice Happiness is Homemade label there. So it's got some cool stuff we could maybe do. And like I said, lots of black and white prints to go with it with Sewing Notions. There is 2 prints with color on it. One is a stripe. I know you love stripes. One of these days, I'm going to talk about stripes, and then you'll be sorry. My mom says, fill my boots. And then there's another print with buttons that has all kinds of colors. And the canvas blenders that we have that are just called canvas, that aren't actually a canvas fabric, it's just the name. That's like the whole title now. There's a few coordinates that go with that. So they vary. This is what I like about getting fabric from one particular manufacturer is they'll coordinate things between their lines. Makes it super easy for customers because you already know because the red that they use in this line is the red from this blender. So you just put them together because we already know they match because some professionals told us it did because they use the same color. So that was pretty cool. Lost my train of thought. Left the station. Oh well. Right, Prairie Meadow from a guy whose name I can't remember, but if you remember the Stag and Thistle line that I got with the bright magentas and the teals and the turquoise and the lime green that I really, really loved. It's another line by him, but it is much more subdued. It's navies and turquoise and a really nice deep red and cream and a wonderful peach. It's very on trend, very modern looking, but not too modern because there is some nice traditional-ish, what I would more call modern traditional. I don't have a picture handy for you because I am not prepared, but you will see it and we can probably show it off maybe next week because it's very, very nice. I think I did order the wide back that came with it, but the wide back's on back order. So it'll come eventually. It'll all show up. It does. Everybody's just chill at this point. They're like, yeah, whatever. Just looking at everybody else's comments. So there's that. And I did get some Christmas fabric that I forgot about that I did order that was late. They had trouble manufacturing it, I guess. It was behind and I had ordered some of it, not the entire line, but it has snowmen on it. So, oh God, another snowman panel is coming. I will show you that at a later date. And I did get, like I said, there's a lot there and yet another line of kids prints with construction stuff. And they called me ahead of time to let me know the panel for that one was late too. So I was putting off showing you that one since the panel wasn't ready yet. Anyway, it's fairly generic, kid type stuff with, I hesitate to say boys because, little girls like trucks too. and heavy equipment and traffic stuff and vroom vroom cars, and it's nothing like kids and showing them how to throw them dinky cars right down the piece of cardboard on the stairs. And yeah, I am the terrible grandmother. Let's make some racetracks around the house with some cardboard and masking tape. Boys, that's noisy. It's not as noisy when it's your grandkids. When it's your kids, they make too much noise. When it's your grandkids, you're just having fun, darn it. Oh, I miss those little stinkers. I am definitely rambling now. So that is that. So today we are open. Tomorrow we are closed. And next Thursday we are closed. So it's 2 Thursdays in a row that we're closed. But then all the other days back to normal. And another reminder that we are closing at 4 p.m. now. After I talked about it last week, everybody was like, yeah, you know what? That's a really good idea. Feel better about it. Not tense or anything. And as long as the door says, hey, we close at 4 p.m. and the signs all say, hey, we close at 4 p.m., everybody's happy. So that works. And I mean, once the time changes, it's going to be almost dark at 4 p.m. anyway. Oh, and like one of my customers says, if you do have swung by here after 4 p.m. and you try to leave at somewhere around 4:30, traffic is nuts, because you're just sitting there waiting. You might as well just. I hate turning left in traffic. It's just like you turn right and then you go up the street and turn left and then come back down. It's just easier that way. So that's it for me, I think. I think October I might be only closed on Thanksgiving. That would be cool. I'll have to check everybody's appointments. Ugh. Got to go for an eye appointment too, so God knows when that'll happen. Yay! It's fun juggling life, isn't it? Anyway, I wore my name tag at the guild last night. Wore my quilty shirt. Wore it again today just because, only had it on for like a couple hours last night. So there. I definitely need more tea. And I'm going to catch you later. Remember, measure twice, cut once. And if you know when to rip that seam and know when not to. I mean, that's all we can do, right? That is all we can do. So keep hanging on. We are almost there. I don't know where we're going, but I'm hoping that the light at the end of the tunnel is not a train. I will see you on the flip side. I definitely need to reheat my tea. I was going to tell you guys about making a good cup of tea. Anyway, we'll do that next time.